Hi everybody, welcome to my live. How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday, but it's a darker Tuesday now, as you can see out here. All right, let me see if I'm coming up because I just had something weird happen on Facebook where it said it disconnected, but it looks like we're okay. All right, so if this is the first time joining, my name is Laura Rodrick. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas. I go live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I usually have 3 or 4 cards to show you in this class, or little gift bags or different things, all made with Stampin' Up! Materials. So I'm ready to dive into Christmas tonight. We did some fall cards last week, and there's 47 days till Christmas, not to freak anybody out, but I guess it's time to make some cards, right? So we're gonna start making some Christmas cards tonight. I have some really fun ones to show you, so I'm excited about that. All right. I realized about 3 minutes ago that I never posted about going live tonight. Usually I post the day before or a couple hours before saying, hey, I'm gonna be live, and here's a picture of the cards we're gonna do, and I completely forgot. It's been so busy. We've got a big Stampin' Up! Event this weekend that I'm going to in Arlington, Texas. So that's about a 4.5–5 hour drive from here. And so I've been preparing for that. I've been doing my classes, getting a lot of things ready. So I have been busy, busy, busy. And maybe I'm just losing my mind just a tiny bit. So anyway, I apologize for not posting to let everybody know I was on. If you hop on, say hello, let me know you're here. I'm still not very good at reading the comments on my iPad that I have posted next to me so I can see if I'm still alive. Live, not alive. But one of these days I'm gonna just use my laptop and see if I can read the comments better on the laptop. Anyway, let's get started on the cards. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera down. All right. Let me see how that looks. I think that's pretty good. We're gonna go with that. All right. So I just want to start out by saying thank you to everybody who purchased my Merriest Moments card class kit. I had this kit offered and the deadline was the 3rd of November. But the reason I'm mentioning it again tonight is because the way I ordered everything, I still have 1 card kit left. So if you're interested, I'm extending the deadline. Like I said, I only have 1 kit. I can only sell 1 of them. And so if you would like that, email me by Saturday, and I will get you signed up for it. And just to give you a quick overview of what it is, it's going to be making 4 cards, and these are the cards that we're going to make with the Merriest Moments bundle. You will need the bundle with the stamps and the dies. They're very sparkly Christmas cards, and I think they're really pretty. I think you'll like it. So in addition to all the supplies for the 4 cards, you'll also get some supplies. You'll get a package of the iridescent pearls. You'll get a bolt of this beautiful gold shimmer ribbon. You'll get a few sheets of this glitter paper. And then you'll also get a half a pack of this paper right here, which is beautiful. It's the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. And there's lots of fun Christmas prints in here, some of which we'll use for the cards. So that's a really beautiful paper. So anyway, the cost of the class is $32 plus $8 for shipping, so the total price is $40. So it's over $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products you get in addition to the card kits. Like I said, I have 1 left, so if you're interested, email me at sunshineandsparklestamping@gmail.com. All right. This week, if you share my video, I'm going to do a drawing for people who share, and I'm going to give away this embossing folder. And this is one of my favorite embossing folders. It's the Timber 3D embossing folder, and it gives a little bit of a wood grain appearance to your paper. So if you share my video, please mark shared in the comments, either here or on YouTube, so that I know you've shared, because that's the only way I will know you're shared. Okay, so for tonight's cards, we are going to use the Sweetest Christmas Suite. So we're going to use the Sweet Candy Canes bundle and the Christmas Banners bundles, 2 bundles tonight. Here's some pictures of the cards that Stampin' Up! Created. We're going to use this really beautiful designer series paper. And this is just another couple pages of things that they've designed and some close-ups of the stamp sets. These are our projects for tonight. So we're gonna make 3 cards. We've got this card right here, a season's greeting card, which is pretty glittery, and this little fun fold card right here with the candy canes. And then I cased this right out of the catalog where they have these little candy cane tags that go on candy canes and make them really cute. We can make a really cute display with that. All right, so let's get started on our cards. If you would like the make and takes this week, if you place an order of $35 or more, by Saturday, you'll get the make and takes free. And this is the host code for this week. So I'll go ahead and jot it down. These are really fun cards to make, and I thought it'd be a good way to kick off our Christmas card making. So up close, here is the stamp set for the sweet candy canes, and you can actually stamp the actual candy canes, although I didn't do that, but these sentiments are really nice with these beautiful fonts. This is the die set that goes with the bundle. And you can see this is the tag we're going to use for the candy canes. We're going to use these little things to stamp and cut out our leaves. We're going to use the dies to cut out some candy canes from the designer series paper. And then we're going to use this really fun die to make our kind of crisscross plaid pattern on our second card. In addition, for the first card, I've brought in the Scalloped Contours dies, which I bring in pretty much every week because it's one of my favorites. We're going to use this die right here to do a little layer, one of the layers, and then this one as well when we do our last card. Okay, here are the supplies for our card. So I'm just going to pull these out. I've done some of the things in advance, but I'll still show you how to do them. Okay, so we are going to start this card with Garden Green cardstock. And I've cut this right down at 4 1/4, all the way down my half sheet of cardstock, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So this one is going to open this way. Now, let me show you the designer series paper. And I think this paper is really fun. It's called Sweetest Christmas. And I like a paper that has lots of small designs on it because it's not super busy, but it has nice designs to make some of the cards with. It also has a lot of stripes in here, some little candy canes. So this is a really fun Christmas paper in pretty much traditional Christmas colors. We're going to cut out some candy canes. You can see there's the one sheet has all kinds of different candy cane colors. And then you go ahead and use your dies from the set, and you can just cut these out perfectly, right? So you just lay your die down, send it through your cut and emboss machine, and boom, there's your candy cane ready for your card. Okay, let me get this out of the way. So from that designer series paper, I cut a sheet of 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm gonna just go ahead and use a little bit of seal and put down that first layer on our card. I like starting my Christmas cards early because I send a lot of Christmas cards and I like to get that part prepared right away. So I'm glad I'm getting started on these. Okay, so just out of basic white, I cut this layer right here out of the Scalloped Contours dies. And then I wanted to fill the middle with just real red cardstock. And this cardstock is 3 7/8 by 2 5/8, and it fits perfectly inside there and still leaves the little dots showing. So let's go ahead and adhere that down with some seal. And we'll line that up right like this. And then we have a really pretty border. Now I've gone ahead and pre-cut 2 of the candy canes, and I just used the traditional red and white ones for this. And they face different directions, so we're gonna crisscross them and just put them on our card. As you can see, this is a really simple, easy card to make. It hardly takes any time at all to make this card. So we'll go ahead and put one this way. And I'm just gluing these down flat with the seal. Just like that. Okay, then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So this die cut, I actually got from the He's the Man, I think. I can't remember exactly what that one's called. Hold on, let me look. It's called All That Dies, and it went with the He's the Man suite. And this is the little oval die, and I just thought it was perfect for this. You can use any die, any shape to put the sentiment on. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that in real red. And the sentiment that I chose, oh, I didn't pull any of my stamps for my class tonight. Okay. But that's okay. We'll just do it as we go. So this says Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. So we'll just ink that up in real red and see if we can get it in the middle of our die cut. And that looks pretty good. Now the other thing that I want to show you is and the only two stamp pads we're using for this whole class are the Garden Green and the Real Red. Keeping it easy tonight. So I'm just going to take a scrap of white cardstock, and it comes with this beautiful little, just like cute little leaf stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp some of those with the Garden Green, just on white cardstock. And I used a lot of these tonight on the different cards. And then what you will do is then just take the die, and that's from that candy cane set again. And it's really nice because they give you two of them. Thank you, Stampin' Up, for thinking of us when we're die cutting. So you just line them up, send them through your cut and emboss machine. You can do them 2 at a time, which is beautiful, right? And I've already done some advance, so I've got about 5 of them right here that we're going to put on our card. So let's take some dimensionals and start by putting our sentiment on with dimensionals. Oops. And we're going to put this right about here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take my little leaf sets, and I'm just going to add a little bit of seal. You could also adhere these with a glue dot. You know, maybe we will use glue dots. I think that would be easier. Let's do that. I'm just going to take a glue dot on each one of them. And then we can just kind of put them around where we want them on the card. The glue dots are quick and easy, aren't they? Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just picking these up and putting them in different places. And because we went ahead and used, this is up a little bit because we used the dimensionals, I can just easily slide them back. I'm just cutting a little bit off this because I can feel that it's hitting up against one of the dimensionals. And I think that looks really pretty. And one more. Right there. Okay, now we're going to pop this layer up onto our card base. Don't you love how easy this card is? It's so fast. And Stampin' Up makes it easy because, like I said, the candy canes, you just die cut them out. You could even, I mean, it's a simple shape. You could even cut them out with a pair of scissors. And so we're going to pop this layer up right here. Then we're going to use some of the Real Red rhinestones. So these are red rhinestone basic jewels. And look how many this comes with. It comes with 220 in a package. And these are beautiful for Christmas. So let me just take some of the ones that I've been working on already. All right. And we'll just randomly place some around the card. I like to use a lot of them because there's so many, and I just love adding that extra bit of sparkle to the cards. And there we go. That's our first card. All right. Let's go on to our second one. Now this one is just a little bit more complicated. So this one is Season's Greetings, and as you can see, we have a lot of layers on here, right? We've got this glitter white, we've got garden green, we've got the real red, and then we started layering on some of these other elements with the sentiment here. All right, so what we're going to use for this one, hold on, let me put some of my toys away. We're going to use this die from the candy cane set. And then we're going to add in the Christmas banners set. And this has really nice banners, and it has the sentiments that you can put inside the banners. And then it's got some really nice foliage, how do you say that? That you can stamp and die cut. And lots of die cuts. Now, mostly what I did, I didn't stamp and die cut, I just plain die cut. So I used this die and this die and this die. I used this die to cut out the red berries. And then, of course, I have the banners, too, to cut out. So, here are the pieces for this card. And as you can see, I've pre-cut everything tonight, so we don't have to die cut, although we could if we wanted to. So let me just put these aside. Okay, again, starting with Garden Green. And this is going to be our card base. Okay. Oh, I see some people are on. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this is going to open this way. All right, so for the next layer, I've taken this beautiful glitter paper, and this is in the white. It comes in a package of red and white, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. And that's going to be our next layer. I'm sorry, it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So it's going to cover the whole front of our card, basically like that, okay? So then, the real red and the garden green, I did 5 7/8 by 4 1/8, so it's just a little bit smaller. And I did the green opposite, okay? So I die cut the green. You can see the die cut right here, how it comes out of the die. And we're going to use the back side of it so it comes out opposite of the red, okay? So on the red one, we're going to use this side. So you can see how it's going to cross over like that and make our really pretty plaid. And the beautiful white shimmers through, so you can see that. And the green, I think, looks fine, even though, I mean, there's no right or wrong side to the cardstock, but the way it cuts, sometimes you can see the edges a little bit, but I think it looks just fine like that. So let's start by doing those layers first. So I'm going to use Seal to adhere. And if you wanted to, you could make all these layers just a little bit smaller too, so you can, you know, kind of have the layers stacked up. Okay, so see if I can line this up, since this one is like an exact fit without messing it up, and I think that's fine. So that's our sparkly layer. Okay, then the next one, I actually used some glue. So I'm gonna use some of our Tombow glue. And again, this one I'm doing the opposite side. Let me just see if I can get this glue started a little bit. I need my pen. All right. All right, so I'm just going to add some glue just to the inside layers, just to kind of tack them down. And we are gluing on glitter paper, so, and I am doing a terrible job of this, which is why people should never let me use glue. All right, so we'll put this first layer down here, and it looks like we're going to be able to see a little bit of the white. I'm just going to take one of my blocks and put it down for a minute to kind of hold that in place. And let me clean up my glue mess while that's starting to dry a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to glue my other side, my other layer. And let me put my wrist down this time so I can make a little bit straighter lines. Because what was I doing before? It wasn't working out that great. You could also use glue dots with this and just do the corners, or you could use, what's the name of that stuff? Like that stuff that makes it a sticker on the other side. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Adhesive sheets, that's what I'm talking about. Before you die cut it, so then all you would have to do is peel it off. All right, this layer is gonna go on top. Wow, I cut my paper really weird, right? But that's okay, I don't mind the different layers, I really don't. All right, again, and I might have to see if we need to trim that up a little bit. Now, I showed you some of the dies that I used to cut. So I just cut a couple pieces of the garden green in this, a couple pieces of the garden green in the skinnier one, right? In this card, I used silver cardstock for these little pieces, but I thought I also want to see what it looks like in gold. So I've got a couple gold pieces here that we're going to put on there. And then I cut out of soft suede these little branches that are going to hold the berries, and then a bunch of those little red berries. So that's how we're going to decorate it. I think this is pretty good. Let me see. I'm just going to trim up right along the bottom edge here and just cut that tiny bit of green off just to neaten it up a little bit. And I think that looks fine. Okay. So before we do that, let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. So we're going to use this banner and we're going to put Season's Greetings in it. So let me pull out all my stamps and get a couple of blocks out here. All right, so I'm going to stamp this. I have a little scrap of white. And I'm going to stamp the banner in garden green. Make sure my white is clean. So I'm just going to ink this up. I don't know, do you guys like banners? I think they're fun. These are really pretty banners. And we'll just stamp this right here. Okay, then what I'm going to do next is line up my Season's Greetings. And I want to make sure that I line it up pretty well. So I want like my seasons right about there. And the greetings right about here. Whoops, got it upside down. There's one side that's longer than the other one. So I think maybe right about like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and pick it up with my block. And then I'm going to use some real red to stamp that part of it. So let me get this inked up. And put it right in the middle. Like that. Okay, so now we have our banner. What we would do next is take our banner die and line it up, and then we'll run it through our cut and emboss machine. Opposite, and cut out the banner for our greeting. I've already done that, so I don't have to drag my big machine out. So we're ready to go on that one. Okay, so let's do like we did with the last card, and we're going to take our banner and use dimensionals to pop it up, and then we can tuck everything else behind it. I guess I did two of them. All right. Hey everybody, I see a few more people hopped on. Hello. All right, so we'll put this right in the middle like that, and then we can start embellishing with our pieces. And I think I'm gonna do like I did for the last card and just use some glue dots because that seemed to work out really nicely. So I'm gonna start with this thicker green part and put that in this background right about here. And then I'll put a skinny one back there. Whoops. And then the next layer we'll put is the gold. Let me see if I cut enough of those little gold pieces out. Let me bring a couple more on. Okay. So let's finish up our green on the bottom, same way. This one maybe there. I like a lot of layers. I like a lot of, if you're gonna do like putting a lot of greenery on there, I like to have a lot of it, a lot of different layers. I'm gonna cut this one down just a little. All right, let's layer up some of our gold. Put a couple on this one. Oh, hold on. Trim this one down too. I kind of wanted it to go a little bit more behind. I'm going to cut it even more so it fits nicely. As a matter of fact, I think this piece needs to go on this side right there, since it's fighting with me a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna, for the other piece, I'm just gonna cut off part of it and just do like a really small piece over there. Okay, so now we've got some gold. Let me know, do you like the silver one or the gold one better? I did it in both. I have a tendency towards gold for Christmas that I like, but I thought I would try it in the silver and see what it looked like too. Nice and easy to tuck those behind. I think I'm going to need some new glue dots soon. And I'll trim a little bit more off. Now I think I'm going to use a little bit of glue for the stems because they're very, very skinny. So I'm going to take my silicone mat and my favorite little glue pen for these really skinny pieces here, and just kind of cover them with some glue. So these cards, obviously you can see they have a lot of die cutting, but it's pretty easy to do and goes pretty fast. So we'll put one of the stems right here and glue that down. You can barely see it against the gold. And one right here. And we'll clean this off later. All right, so next I'm gonna take some of the glue and I'm just gonna put a dot of glue where each berry is gonna go. So right at the end of the stems. And there's 5 different stem pieces. You can see this one kind of fell behind. And then we'll get to take your pick and just go ahead and place those berries. Now in this card, I left the berries just the way they are out of the cardstock. You could also take some of those real red rhinestones if you wanted to and put rhinestones on top of them. And we'll do that for the next card so you can see what that looks like. All right, there's the berries for that one. Okie doke. I might be missing a berry here. I don't like when they get flipped upside down, so I'm trying to flip that one over. I think I cut some extra berries because I know things like that happen to me on video all the time where one disappears. All right, let's see, is it anywhere? I don't see it. Let me get rid of my scraps here. And let me pull out my little extras. And put that one in place. Now, have you guys seen this red and green ribbon from Stampin' Up? It's really pretty. It comes in a 2-pack. And it's a really pretty ribbon. We're going to use some of the green on this card, and we're just going to tie a bow. And that'll just finish off our card. All right, that is not the prettiest bow I've ever done, that's for sure, but let me just try and fix this one side, and I think we'll be good. Everybody adjusting to the time change okay? Didn't they pass a law saying that they weren't going to do that anymore, but it just hasn't gone into effect yet or something like that? I thought I read that a while ago, that we were going to be done with that. But I feel like this one doesn't mess you up as much as the other one. You know, the one where you gain an hour isn't as bad as the one where you lose an hour. Okay, that's card number 2. We're all finished. What do you think? Silver or gold? I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I think I like them both. I might actually like the silver better. I don't know. Okie dokie. So the next card, we're kind of going to use a combination of... Renee, I'm laughing. I see you said you're the queen of losing things on your craft table without moving. That's funny, you guys. Okay, so this card is the next one, and I've kind of used a combination. So we used the banners from that set and some of the die cuts from that set, and then back to the candy canes also. And I think that makes for a really pretty card. So here are the pieces for this. And we've done this fold before, this little fun fold. So we're going to start with real red cardstock this time. And it's just our basic 8.5 by 5.5, scored it in 4 1/4, but then also scored at 2 1/8. And then you kind of accordion fold it this way. Let me just make sure that my folds are really crisp. All right, so this one's going to open like that. Then we've got some of that same DSP that we use. This time we're using a red and white stripe. Okay, so this is 5 1/4 by 4 for this inside layer. And then these are 5 1/4 by 2 1/8. I have 2 pieces of those. So we can go ahead and adhere all those down. I find that the seal works best on a hard surface. If I have a couple layers under it, I seem to have some trouble with it. So that one there. Look at this cute paper on the other side with the green and red candy canes. That looks like something fun to make, right? I want to play with that. The other thing you can do with this, and I might start doing this for my next Christmas classes, is doing a tag with each set, because I know everybody needs tags for their gifts too at Christmas, right? So you can make a lot of really cute Christmas tags with these sets as well. You can even use the banners and write people's names in on the banners, right? If you were going to put them on gifts. Okay, so out of the basic white, we used the scalloped contours dies to cut a couple of scalloped layers for that. And this one, again, like the other one, this measures, let me see, 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. And this is just more of that candy cane DSP, just to have a nice little background layer. So we can get that set up. Never have quite the right angle with my seal. All right, so we'll just center that, and we've got that layer, which is really pretty. All right, let's do the only stamp. We're going to do a couple things with the stamping, right? So we're going to do a banner again. And this is the other banner that we're going to use from it. And you can see I've been using it because it's kind of stained red from the ink I've been using. All right, and this one I'm going to stamp the banner part in real red. Right like that. And then line up the stamp again for the sentiment. And this one I chose 'Tis the Season. And you can see this one is kind of curved, right? So it curves with the banner. So let me find a good size. I want it to go about there, and I'm just going to pick it up like that, and then we'll do the inside with green. Okay, just like that. Again, we take the die and just cut it out. Here's another one of those banner dies. Just line it up and send it through your machine and cut out your banner. And I've already done one for us, so we're all set and ready to go with that. Okay, I'm kind of making a mess here. So on the inside, as you can see, I just took that little candy cane leaf and we're gonna stamp that just on this side. And I'm gonna just take a tiny piece of Post-it tape and I'm just gonna put it right here because I don't want it to come outside of my stitching when I stamp it, okay? Is that far enough up? Let me move it up just a little bit so you can see it, because I don't want it to go all the way across the scalloped edge. Okay, so I have this again. This is the same one that we used before, and I'm just gonna stamp it right like that, okay? Now I can just peel off my Post-it tape, and you can see how that came out like that. Okay, stamping's done, so let's start making our layers. We're gonna start with this one right here. And this time I cut out, this is from the Designer Series paper again, one of the candy canes. This time I chose a red and green one. And I'm just gonna start by laying this flat with some seal on an angle, just like that. Then I'm gonna run my banner across with dimensionals. And I think right about here it looks good. And then again, same pieces that we used before. I've got some of the thick ones, some of the skinny ones. This time, instead of the gold, although you could use gold or silver if you wanted to, I used a little bit of evening evergreen for these little fir branch looking ones. And then the same thing again. I have the branch and the red dots. And it looks like, okay, this time I lost a branch, so that's good. It might still be in the envelope. Let me check. Nope. That's okay. I'm pretty sure I cut extra. All right, there we go. Silly. All right, let's use glue dots again because that's been working pretty well for us. And we'll just start layering on behind. And in no particular order, we'll just start putting those on. Kind of the same ones that we used before. Now let's put on the evening evergreen. Use two glue dots for this one. Looks like I'm just pretty much gluing things to my fingers. And I might have to, nope, I guess I don't have to cut off stem on that one. All right, so let's do the bottom part. Has anybody gotten serious about their Christmas shopping yet? Whoa. I've done a little bit, but not too much yet. All right, we're getting somewhere. Couple more and we'll be done with this card. Our last project's really easy too with the candy canes. So let's just add a couple more to the fern. Whoa. All right. Okay, now our trick again with the glue. And this glue I get from Amazon. This is not a Stampin' Up product, but I like it for the skinny pieces. It's the Zig two-way glue pen, and I get it from Amazon. And if you guys don't have one of these are super handy to have, this Stampin' Up! Little silicone mat, because what happens is this glue dries and then you can just roll it off later. It's super easy cleanup. Can you see how that just rolls off of there? Love it. It's so awesome. Okay, branches on. And now we'll go ahead and put our berries on again. So a little bit of detail on this card, right? And it kind of takes a minute to get all the detail on. But I think it makes for a really pretty festive card. And I think candy canes really speak to Christmas, right? They're pretty popular. All right, let's pick up some of these red dots. Now in this one, I did go ahead and put some rhinestones on the berries. Or if you didn't want to put these berries, you could just put the rhinestones if you didn't want to layer them. And I think that would look really pretty too. Okay, a couple more. Whoa. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do our rhinestones first, and then we'll put the last layers on. So let me pull out some more of those pretty rhinestones. And I'm just going to put one on each one. And I probably, best case scenario is to wait until the glue dries on the berries before you start putting the rhinestones on, because I don't want these to get picked up, but I think we're doing okay, even though they're still wet. So I don't know, do you like that look, or would it be better with just the rhinestones or just the berries? I'm not really sure. And then on that little inside piece, although normally I like my inside to be very flat, I'm going to add a couple rhinestones to the little leaf just to make it a little bit festive looking. So I'm just going to put a couple of the little red rhinestones on the leaves just for the inside, just to add a little bit of color. Okay, so let's do our layers. This is going to go down and seal. This is going to go right in the middle of the inside, like that. And then you can go ahead and do your writing for your card inside, or if you wanted to put another stamp there, you could. This side, we're just going to put some seal right about here, and this is going to go right in the middle when it's closed, and that'll cover up our sentiment on the inside. Okay, just like that. So our assembly part is done. Last thing we want to do is finish it with a bow, and we're going to use the red counterpart of the ribbon this time, and we'll tie a red bow and put that on our card. These colors are so traditional Christmas, right? So that's why I love this ribbon. It's just so useful. You can use it on presents too. One thing I love about Stampin' Up! Ribbon is that so much of it comes on a bolt, right? Hold on, where's my scissors that I use for cutting ribbon? There's just, it doesn't run out. There's just so much of it, which is great. Does it say how much is on there? No, not really, but I've seen some other ones that say how much, and it's a lot. Okay, glue dot. And I think we almost made it with the glue dots. I think we're like one short. Let's see if I can get it off the cardboard. Not really. Okay, hold on. We are one glue dot short. Can you believe that? But I think we're going to use some glue dots for the candy canes too. So got to get them out. Got to start a new box. Okay, here we go. Now the glue dots, I don't like, I don't know if you guys know, but they changed them a while back. So now they're on the inside, which I don't like. I like them on the outside. So what I do with mine is I unroll the whole thing and re-roll it the other way, because otherwise it makes me crazy. Okay, you guys, that's our third card. third candy cane card. All right, I hope you like that card. Okay, last thing we're gonna do is make these cute little candy canes. And so the tag is perfect. I think I showed you guys the tag already. The die for it is super easy. It's already got the holes cut out, so you just run this through your die cutting machine. I did one in red and one in green. So let me pull my pieces for that. So I did one in red, one in green. Okay. And I'm gonna need another leaf. Okay, and then we're also going to embellish using some of these flat jingle bell trinkets, and these are fun, right? And like I said, these candy canes, I just cased them right out of the catalog. They already had this. This wasn't my design. I saw it and I thought, oh, that's really cute. What we're going to do is do the embossing, right? We're going to emboss in white, so I just cut 2 of the tags, and we're going to go ahead and stamp them. And that's also the one we already used, Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. So let me clean off my stamp since I had that in red. Just gonna use my chamois and clean that off. Okay, make sure that's dry. And then I'm gonna get the Versamark out. And do one in the red. One in the green. And then we'll get out some white embossing powder. And we'll just put that on, flick it off. I'm gonna do 2 coats on these just to make sure I get enough on. So let me bring that other one back just for one more time. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's get our heat embossing gun out. And because these are small, look, I made a mess. And then I've got glue dots on here too, somehow. I'm gonna go ahead and use my reverse tweezers to pick them up and hold them so I don't burn my fingers. Takes a minute for this heat gun to heat up. There we go. All right, there's one. So easy, right? So if you don't like to emboss, you can always do this in white, and you could stamp it in green or red, or you could stamp it in black. You don't have to use the embossing. All right, then we're just gonna we're gonna embellish this a little bit. So again, we're gonna take some glue dots, and I stamped another one of these in garden green and cut it out with a die cut. So we've just got a couple of leaves that I'm gonna put right here. Like that. Then I'm gonna, whoops, I wanna read the words, hold on. Let me move that up a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna take a couple of these Jingle Bell trinkets and put a glue dot on those as well. And just put that right about there. Then we're gonna slide them onto a couple of candy canes. So they just slide through nice and easily, like that. And then we'll go ahead and get some ribbon, and we'll use opposite colors for those. Whoops. Okay, let's just tie a little bit of ribbon about both of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some red on this side and tie it around the top. These don't take very long. You saw how fast that embossing went, right? So you could do a bunch of these. You could give these out. Maybe if you're, the kids like could maybe take them to school. I don't know if they allow food in the classrooms anymore, but if they do, that would be a fun, quick, easy thing to bring for the class, right? And I'm just going to slide that up a little bit. And then we'll do one in green. Or your coworkers, this would be fun to hand out at work, right? Or if you like to do a candy display. Now, I like to do this every year. I have a little bit of a pass-through between my kitchen and the living room down there. And I always set up like a big candy display, right? All my favorite candies. I have a big rectangular glass jar that I do the beautiful ribbon, the big ribbon candy in. I kind of look for more traditional candies, and candy canes are always traditional, right? And do a big candy display with lots of different jars and stuff every year at Christmas. Okay, so I'm just sliding the ribbon down a little bit on here. And those are really fun. So you can I have just like a little glass jar here with a couple of beads, and you can see how cute that looks to just make a little display with all the candy canes, right? So I definitely will use that as one of the things in my candy display this year because I think it's really cute. Okay, so let's bring back our projects for this evening. Okay, so we did this Candy Cane and Mistletoe Kisses card. And then we went ahead and did some Seasons greeting cards, one in silver, one in gold. We did our Fun Fold card with the candy canes, 'Tis the Season. And then we did our display with the candy canes. So I thought that was a really fun candy cane class. I want to show you what I have in mind for next week's class. I have a couple of quick reminders for you. If you would like the project measurement and supply sheet for this class, just email me and I'll email it to you. And it just has all the measurements and products that were used for the class. And then just a reminder, Paper Pumpkin, the last day is the 10th of November, which is coming up pretty quick. What's today? The 8th, in 2 days. Only 2 days left to order this. This is from the North Pole, the name of the Paper Pumpkin kit, and you'll make 12 tags. I think these stamps, they're giving us a little peek of the stamps and little snowflake cutouts. I think this is going to be a really fun Paper Pumpkin. You get a real red Stampin' Spot in there. It looks like you get a little bit of some twine in there. So if you want details on Paper Pumpkin, you can email me. I'll be happy to send you some information on that. And then next week, we're going to use the Sweet Gingerbread set. So these are fun, non-traditional cards next week. So I've got a shaker card that we're going to make with the gingerbread set that says, Have a Sweet Christmas. We're going to do this Fun Fold card, which is an easel card that we're going to make next week out of the gingerbread set. And then I have these cute little gingerbread men. I've got a little treat bag. I got these at Target, and we're going to make a little treat bag so you could give these out as a gift at Christmas too. So I hope you can join me next week. Thank you very much for joining me this week and watching my video. I hope you all have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.